Well, without a calculator, there's not much we can do here except just do quadratic formula. So let's roll up our sleeves. Hopefully we have it memorized and we're capable of moving through all the arithmetic. If you don't, this would be a great question to skip on the no calculator section. It's going to be time consuming and there's an easy way to make mistakes. So you got to really be careful. So negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a is going to give us the solutions. So that means negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times 6 all over 2 times 1, right? A is 1, B is 8, C is 6. Now I start the process of simplifying. So negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 minus 24 all over 2. Now before you start touching the 8, the 2, you got to work with that radical and start to simplify it. So let's kind of do a sidebar here. So ignoring everything else, this would become the square root of 40, right? 64 minus 24. And then 40 is 10 times 4. 4 is 2 times 2, and 10 is 5 times 2. So when I reduce radicals, I'm looking to make a pair of numbers that can come out of the radical. So those 2's can come out to the front. The 5 and the 2, though, these ones don't have a pair, right? They're just going to be left behind. So what I'm going to end up with is negative 8 plus or minus the square root, or actually, let's do the 2. This 2 times the square root of 10 over 2. And now I can reduce the 2 that's on the bottom. I have to be able to break it into both parts. So that's going to mean that the negative 8 gets divided by 2 and the 2 here. And that's going to leave me with negative 4 plus or minus square root of 10, which is choice C, which is the answer. There isn't really a shortcut here. If you had a calculator, you could work with the decimals. Maybe you have a program that does it or some sort of other method. But unfortunately, for the no calculator section, you're just going to need to do quadratic formula sometimes. It's rare, but the only way to get it is to do it, and there you go. You got to know how to do it, and you need to know how not to make mistakes, because if we had divided incorrectly or solved that radical incorrectly, we would have gotten one of the other wrong answers, and that would have been a lot of time for just 10 points.